Hello everyone and welcome to Coast to Coast. Thanks to the team at West Coast Health and High Performance. Tex Perkins, get in touch with them and they'll let you know how it's all going under the COVID regime. Speaking of COVID regime, our men are all around this great country of ours. Hammer Brayshaw bunked up at home residence in Peppy Grove and Oscar Allen is bunked up with the rest of the AFL team in Melbourne. G'day, fellas.
Goss, welcome. Not in Peppy Grove, mate, just across the road in Cottesloe, the 6011, but yeah, close enough.
Hello, man. Good to see you all. Not only with the rest of the Eagles, the rest of the AFL have actually, news has just broken that all the teams are in Melbourne now. So stay tuned for that. I can assume something will probably be happening because all teams are here in the first place.
Yeah, big footy frenzy.
The Adelaide teams got out earlier today. Just in summary then, can we find, Oscar, just take us through your Tuesday and even probably your Monday night when we saw that the first of the Premier McGowan press conferences suggested that there were cases in the community. Were you across that? And what about the process as to getting on the plane yesterday?
So my last 48 hours has been a bit like everyone else in terms of we didn't really know what was going on. It started off with just before the press conference, the old Chinese whispers, and Hammer and I were actually talking on our group chat with some of the boys from the club saying, oh no, lockdown. And I made the prediction, we'll be out of the state within 24 hours. And some of the boys went, no, a bit silly, maybe, probably not.
Isn't it funny how the rumour mill just goes nuts? As soon as someone hears word of a case, everyone just starts talking. I remember last time there was 30 cases apparently kept under wrapped at Fiona Stanley, and you know everything was happening all over the joint.
Everyone knows someone that's working at a hospital all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were assuming that we were going to live the week as normal, fly out on Friday for the game on Sunday afternoon. We got to the club at, I think it was 7:30, 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and something was a bit off. Everyone was being a bit shady. The meetings were cancelled, and then we got together and we were told, yep, at this stage it's probably about 9 o'clock, and they said, look, we've got to get out of here. There's going to be a hard border shutdown at midnight tonight. You've got until 12:30 to go home, do a little bit of a run, kiss your loved ones goodbye, pack your stuff, and then come back and go. So we pretty swiftly did that. And Hammer, you know, my partner Lorna, she was not very pleased with that.
Yeah. Now, just a quick one on that, Oz. Did you do the run that you were subscribed to do?
I did. So my roommate...
No, you didn't.
For those who don't know, my roommate, Braden Ainsworth, is the most diligent man of all time.
Ever.
So you like this, Ham? We had a walk jog into it was very broad. It was basically, if you can go for a run, get a run done before you get on the plane. So I did 5 laps around the oval, just walk jog, like our normal walk jog we do on a Monday. And I said, look, that's me done. And Bubba said, yep, I'm just going to do a couple more. I got in my car, drove home. Half an hour later, Bubba's rocked up, dripping in sweat. So I got out of it very easily. From then on, we were told the flight would be leaving at 2 o'clock. It was then pushed back to 3, and then we were waiting on the bus on the tarmac for probably about an hour. Obviously, with all the Freo boys, your brother included, Ham, all of the staff. Some guys have brought their kids and families over. The flight was delayed at 4:30, and then we had to wait an extra half an hour on the tarmac on the plane. And then by the time we got in here, we were put into quarantine in our room. So we had to wait for a COVID test. You'll like this, Ham, for everyone that came over here, there was one COVID tester working. So
including Freo or just you guys?
Just us. Freo went to a different hotel, but it took 2.5 to 3 hours for them to get the COVID test done. So
who was the last one in the line?
I think the coaches sat down and they said, nah, all the players get theirs done first. So good on them. Yeah. But from a day where you started the day at 7:30 thinking we'll be training this morning to at 2 a.m. Melbourne time, I finally got into my hotel room. And so a long day of travel. All the tests came back negative, and we were out and had a little bit of training today. So there's a brief snapshot of the last couple of days for you.
Gee whiz.
Tell us in regards to what you did during the night while you're waiting to be tested, or could you get to sleep? Did you take in the Tour de France or the Euros? What did you do?
I did. I'm a big subscriber of football, the beautiful game. So I watched some of the Euros. England actually kicked off at 2 a.m. Melbourne time. So by the time I got to my room, it was almost too good to be true. So I was up until 4:30 to go to bed.
Beautiful.
But the unfortunate thing was they have people delivering meals for us, and they delivered breakfast at 7 o'clock this morning, knocking on our door, waking me up.
Perfect.
So I had about 3.5 hours sleep, which was awesome, which was what I wanted going into today after the best day ever yesterday.
Beautiful. Have they given you any idea? I mean, I remember last time when we went hubbing for the first time last year, they sort of said, look, we're going to go, I think it was a 4-week is what they were asking for. They said to the AFL, it ended up being 5 and a bit, I think. What's the go? When have they told you you're coming back, and what do you think it'll be more like?
What we have been told is that we're aiming to come back on Sunday after the game.
Yeah.
Realistically, we were also mentioned it'll probably be packed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And personal feel is that it could be up to a month, and that's what everyone really feels in just muttering in conversation. But I wouldn't be surprised if we were home this Sunday. Wouldn't be surprised if it was 2 weeks. And I think anything longer than that, guys would start saying, like, you guys told us we were going for 5 days, and it's been a bit longer than that. So, yeah.
2 things in regard to your flight. What was it like have you done it before, the divided plane with another playing group? And was the plane delayed because one group took too much luggage, including golf clubs and the like? Can you shed some light on that, Oscar?
Firstly, I haven't flown on a flight like that. It was a little bit strange, but really it was almost like you're just on a normal flight. A lot of us, there's the old, I suppose, wives' tale that there's a huge hatred between West Coast and Freo. It's not really the case. I mean, some of the guys I know pretty well. Obviously, Hammer's brother, we played a little bit of footy against each other growing up and knowing through Hammer. And then a lot of the other Freo guys, seeing them around town. So you're just saying hi to them. They're just normal blokes in the same situation as you, so you feel for them. As for the question about who was holding up who at the airport, I'm not going to be the one to point fingers, and it was a tough time for everyone, but I think we've made enough back-page headlines at the moment, so I'm actually not too sure. Some will get to the bottom of it, but your mate bringing all these golf clubs.
Well, yeah, he is. He's going back home. Keep in mind, he has got a membership at the best golf course in the country, Royal Melbourne. So, no, I wouldn't blame the man for bringing his sticks home. If he can get out and have a whack, not the worst thing in the world. So, you reckon you're coming for a maximum of 2 weeks? Have you? I also wouldn't be surprised if it stretches longer than that. I think the hard border closure to Melbourne and WA means that if you come back, you will. I mean, unless they can figure out a way for you to quarantine while training, which they've done before. How long have you packed for? Have you given yourself 2 weeks? Have you given yourself a month's worth of stuff? Or are you just sort of bloke that puts a little bit of clothes into a carry-on bag and can just keep it on rotation for a month?
It's a good question, Ham. Obviously, as I alluded to, we didn't have a great deal of time to prepare, pack up bags, plan out what we're going to bring, how long we'll be here for. So, as I said, I had to run and then had to come home and do some other things alongside packing, feed the dog and the likes.
Of course.
And amongst that, I think I packed 3 or 4 T-shirts.
Yep.
And I'm quite big on my footy boots, making sure I'm particular with them. So I only packed 1 pair of casual shoes and 1 pair of Birks and 6 footy boots. So the Nike store will be copping a serious hiding from me to get some new T-shirts.
6 footy boots?
Well, I think I'm very particular with, there's a grass cap, so almost a jogger with studs at the bottom, which I train in early in the week. It's good for my feet. I've got my current boots I was wearing, so my Nike Tempos. I've got a new pair of Nike Tempos. I've got a worn-in pair unworn. I have a pair of Mercurials unworn and a pair of Mercurials worn in. So just in case I want to change things up.
Nah, fair enough.
If I go through a form slump in the hub, don't be surprised seeing me wearing some purple Mercurials coming soon.
All righty, say no more. Watch this space.
God, yeah.
When you're talking about taking stuff onto the plane, I'm always intrigued by the pillow carriers. Did you do a quick recce of who are the pillow carriers in your team, Oscar? I
did have a quick observation of it, but sad to say, I don't think there was many at all. So I'm not sure if something has gone out, but I'm just, as I'm filming this in my bedroom, I'm looking at the pillows and we have some absolute stinking pillows here. We've got a big square box that is rock hard and doesn't do anything. and then we've got the thinnest, smallest rectangular. It's basically a tissue. So you want to sleep in a cardboard box on your head or a tissue? Like it is, and I'm not too pleased.
One of the great debates, I think, as in, who prefers what sort of pillow, because it is such a personal preference. You can get them in all sorts of sizes and how hard and firm or soft you want them. And that's why I do think a lot of blokes bring it on. And people might say, oh, he's just being fussy, he's bringing his pillow, what a softie, But, you get to a hotel like this and you're sleeping on a cardboard box, you'd be pretty happy that you brought your goddamn pillow. So, find yourself a new pillow, Oz, or stiff.
One problem with these hotels that we do go to, which are amazing. I mean, we love the hotels we're at and they do a great job. A lot of the upper end hotels, but the pillows are almost too good in terms of their memory foam pillows. And I've only got 2 nights here. I'm not making a good mold in my memory foam and 2 nights. Give me your stock standard run-of-the-mill Adair's pillow. I'll go. Actually, it's a luxury pillow.
That is a luxury pillow. More of a Kmart job.
A Kmart job. Give me. Sorry, that shows where I'm at in life. I'm talking about Adair's is the bottom. No, a Kmart pillow.
Yeah, I've just signed a mega deal, so fair enough.
A Kmart pillow is would suffice, but these memory foam not getting the job done.
Very, very true. Okay, with let's talk about the elephant in the room just quickly, because I know that our fans listening to Coast will want to know just what went wrong last week, Oscar, and how bizarre was it when you found out that there's going to be no crowd, and did it affect the mood amongst the group when you run out there knowing that it was probably going to be 45, 48,000 and there's nothing, and did it play into the hands of the opposition at all? Is that an excuse at all?
No. Not in the slightest. That's not an excuse. Personally, we're just like the fans out there where we do see the comments on social media and the likes, and the main message that was put across was disappointment with the lack of effort at times. And that's exactly how us as the playing group have reflected on the game, and a really, really bad missed opportunity. I thought we played really well against Richmond, and we want to be a team that's consistently good, and we could have had a great opportunity to almost stamp a claim as to this is who we are and this is our brand of football. We didn't do that, and we let ourselves down and we let our fans down. And something for me, which is obviously really disappointing as well, it was one of our greatest ever players, Josh Kennedy, his 250th game, and we let him down. And we let Bunga down earlier in the year when he broke the record as well. So on the whole, very disappointing. And the crowd situation is just, it goes to the back of your mind. We had the same thing with the Fremantle game, the Derby, and that was one of our better team performances for the year. So we're putting that aside and just looking to bounce back this week in adverse circumstances. So it could be a great time to really show a bit of character within the playing group. I
think just touching on those crowds, when you're getting whacked like that, the crowds are pretty silent anyway. I mean, it wasn't, I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. I think the Bulldogs were very good, Oz, and I think you'll agree. Yeah. They're a very quality outfit. They're second on the ladder for a reason. Are they first now? Or? No, they're still a game behind Melbourne, I think. But they are a quality outfit. They've got some really good players. Bontempelli, if he's not, he should be right up there with the conversation with the best players currently playing the game. He is a star. A lot of their midfielders are really good. They've got good players all around the ground, and that's what it takes to be a good team. And yeah, there was a little bit of lack of effort from times, which when you're playing a good team just gets exposed. So I definitely don't think that's reflective of where, the West Coast Eagles are at. But it is a reality check that if, come the back end of the year, if that's what you're going to, if you're going to fall into those lapses, you will get touched up.
Yeah, 100%. And I do want to make a point of agreeing with what you said. By no means is this taking away from their performance. They're a quality side, quality outfit, and they played a really, really good brand of footy, and they have all year. That's why they're probably in the 1 or 2 in terms of premiership favouritism, really.
Yep, absolutely.
It was very interesting arriving at the ground. I had to be there around 10:30 for an 11 o'clock media commitment, and we were downstairs and we were talking to some Eagles staff who were preparing to go up to do the corporate lunch and the corporate event. And they were in a bit of a spin. They had heard rumours but hadn't heard anything. And we said, nah, she'll be right. Everyone's starting to come and all the staff were starting to get in position. By the time we got out of the lift from ground floor to the 4th floor media, no one's allowed in. It was a bizarre hollow, weird feeling. And I know Simo was driving to the game and his family called him to say, hey, we're not coming because we're not allowed in. And he wasn't even aware. So it's amazing how it travels and changes. The world changes so quickly, as you're experiencing right there now, Oz.
It does. I did, similar to as we were speaking about before, there is the old Chinese whispers of probably at about 10:30, I reckon there was a chance that someone said crowd will be cancelled. And I didn't think too much of it, but it was a bizarre scene driving into the ground and people being ushered by security out of the ground and saying, you guys need to get out right now because the players are coming in and no one's allowed to be here. So bizarre scenes and really sad scenes too, I think, not only financially for the football club, it's a tough day, but also a lot of our members come from a long way away. A lot of them drive up from down south, from up north, and it's a whole day trip for them. And it's a highlight of people's weeks. And not only could they not come, but we didn't put a performance up which they could be proud of. So
did I hear that there was, I heard this, I might be getting it wrong, but a family or a few people were coming from Geraldton, Northampton, sort of that way to come and watch JK's 250th and got pretty much to Perth when the announcement happened that they couldn't go. So that's a 4-hour, 5-hour drive for absolutely nothing. But yeah, I was going to the game as well, and I was looking forward to what would have been I thought, a very good contest. But you almost go into every week and every day at the moment in the footy world just thinking, that anything could happen at any moment. And all these different strains and whatever the hell's going on with this COVID stuff, it pops up all over the place, and you wait with bated breath thinking this could impact footy, and unfortunately it has over here. But fingers crossed it all stays clear of Melbourne and you guys can keep getting footy underway.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking to Nizzy this morning on radio, he did say that the loss of 2 home games with the various ways in which it affects the bottom line. He's mentioned the club, and it will make headlines over the next day or two, $6 million, the loss of earnings for the West Coast Eagles with the 2 games already this year. And while it's not at the critical stage, it's heading that way. So that's just the COVID world we're in. On a positive note, Hammer, congratulations. Back-to-back wins with the mighty Waffle Eagles. Well done, Skipper.
Yeah, we got the train rolling there for a little bit. 2 wins on the trot. A very, very good win for the Waffle Eagles. We were, I thought it wasn't our best performance of the year. I think the game against Serbia was our best team performance, but it was another very, very sound outing. And I mean, they challenged us early. It was all squared at quarter time, and then I think we just sort of flexed our muscles a little bit and went whack in the back end of the game. And yeah, definitely our best win of the year. We got sort of on the points scoreboard side, we got 50 odd points, but. No, it was a good win. Very good game.
A 150-point turnaround from the last time we played East Fremantle, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we had last time we played them, I think we might have had 4 or 5 AFL listed players. That was right at the sort of the pointy end of the Eagles injuries, which hurt us. And then, I remember that day we had 3 debutants, 2 of which just came on for the captain's run the day before. One of which couldn't do the captain's run because he had to go get a COVID test. So we didn't even see this bloke until he rocked up to the game and played. So that was the sort of world we were living in. And we tried our best that game. I mean, we kicked the first goal that game. We got off to a flyer, and then they just sort of went whack. But I think a lot's changed since then for us. We've put a lot of work into our game plan that is more of a system than the players we got in. But certainly having the health at the AFL list definitely gave us a good win.
2 things, Sam.
Yep.
Firstly, on the new teammates aspect of things, it's very funny when you have new teammates, and whether growing up it happens, whether you're playing school footy and then you go play club footy, or you make a representative squad and you don't know all the players, and you hear the old, yeah, mate, because you have no clue what his name is. Bit of that going on. And secondly, by my rumours, which the rumour mill's been flying in on my phone recently, last time we played East Fremantle, there was some chirpy Sharks out in the field, and you're pretty happy with the chance you got to silence them after the result on the weekend, or what?
Yeah, I'll touch on both of those things. Yes, it was there in that first instance. There was a bit of mate. The boys that we had playing, Ty Sears is a colt at Swans that came and played with us. Chris Pornich from Wembley Footy Club, and then Jack Wilson, who I think was also out at Swans. They all came and played that first game. And Bailey Williams was playing. He's already Willow. Chris Pornich, Porno, is a very easy nickname to remember.
Very good nickname, one of the best.
Yeah, one of the great nicknames. But they all sort of they don't look similar, but they're all sort of the same build, same sort of coloured hair. And so I found myself just calling all three of them Porno that game, which, so there wasn't really mate. It was more just everyone was Chris Pornich around the day. So that's to that point. Not anymore, because I think we've all been trained together for a while. There's not a lot of mate. There is when Luke Shuey comes back. He probably doesn't have enough time to remember everybody's names, but he did his best. And as to the chirpy Sharks, yeah, there was a little bit of heat in the game. I remember last time we played them, there was a few things said, and it's tough to respond to that when you're 100 points down. And so they were a little bit quieter this week. I think there was a few key performances from players on the weekend that might have silenced a few of them. So yeah, that's. I don't really want to kick too much up, but yeah, it was definitely a better performance from us for sure.
Well, nice one by you, and a bit of a hiatus this week for the Waffle, but we'll find out when they return. Now, lads, you would have seen Tim O'Brien's mark for Hawthorn, and we probably now have an absolute assured podium, do we not? Shea Bolton, Jack Riewoldt, and Tim O'Brien. Do we think that they're the top three if we were looking at mark of the year at this stage?
Yeah, I think so, but I still think it'll take a little bit to catch Bolton.
I think so, but I think Jack Riewoldt is actually one.
Really?
We had a good discussion about this at the football club, and I'd be really interested in your thoughts, Sam.
Yep.
So Sam Walsh's mark last year, brave, back with the flight, and given there wasn't another mark as good as O'Brien's or Bolton's.
Yep.
But the way I look at it, Jack Riewoldt's courage levels up here, unbelievable, 100% courage, commits to the contest, going back with the flight to be able to get a lift off someone with the ball coming over his right shoulder, and then turning midair and catching it whilst taking a hang, going back with the flight. I just think that is the degree of difficulty impossible.
Yeah, look, I do agree. And I am a massive, massive advocate for courageous marks being paid a little bit more respect than they are given. I think, look at that, the Nick Riewoldt mark, John O'Brien, like some of them, I still think they're some of the best marks of all time. I certainly don't do it, put my body on the line like that.
You've got Nick Riewoldt, John O'Brien, Oscar Allen at the G around 17, 2019. Those three all in the same breath, eh?
Yeah, no question. But I just think, Bolton got up so high. It was I'll be very interested to see where the award goes at the end of the year. But certainly, I think a clear-cut top three. But I would still put my money on Bolton.
Because the way I looked at it was Bolton and O'Brien's marks, freaky as, super athletic, but sheer athleticism. It's a stupid argument to make, but it's almost like you're so athletic that no one else would be able to do that. So it's awesome, but here's something that everyone else could possibly do, but just no one else will ever do again because they don't have the kahunas to do that or the skill, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. So you're going with Riewoldt, I'll stick with Bolton. See where the chips fall at the end.
Bolton 2, O'Brien 3. Actually, we'll go with that.
Yep,
okay,
sure.
So just clarifying, Hammer, what's your 1, 2, 3 as it stands right now?
Bolton, Riewoldt, O'Brien is my top three.
Oz?
Late change in the last 5 seconds. I'm going to go Riewoldt, O'Brien, Bolton. I don't think they want Richmond 1 and 2.
Nah, fair enough. But anyway, that's where we sit.
It's interesting, and just in summary of that, there's probably 3 categories, isn't it? There's probably the football smarts that you've spoken about, Oz and Hammer, in regards to what is the best mark, what's the courage levels and the skill level taken. Then you've got the vision, the television broadcaster vision of the mark and whether it was captured beautifully. And then you've got the still frame, because if you're taking the still frame shot, which is what a lot of people look at and go, wow, it's probably O'Brien's mark is probably the better photo, and marks aren't taken by photos, but there's probably 3 categories of how we look at it.
Yeah, you look at you just look at the waffle mark of the year. Vardy versus Archie. Chi got pretty. I was watched both in person. I think Cheese is better, but you look at the vision, and Vardy's was clearly the better looking mark. So you're right. It does take into account, still shots, vision, and the rest of it. The one Jack Riewoldt's probably, if you're taking still shots of that, it's tough to still shot that very well. The vision is very good, but when they put a photo up and it's like, oh, have a look at this, you see Bolton's feet on the bloke's shoulders, and same with O'Brien. Yeah, I still think I'm happy with my 1, 2, 3, but you're dead right. There is a lot that goes into it.
I'll have to agree to disagree with you, actually, Goss. I think Bolton's still shot was a little bit better, just purely because you have the mere mortals standing and then he, like another human body above them. And you're like, how? It looks like someone's like edited him in that.
If you're going on still shots, Liam Ryan's mark on against East Perth, I think he's on Scully's shoulders.
Scully with Tom Cole at his back.
That's one of the great still shots. One of the great still shots, that one.
Let's get to this part of the show, of course.
Yes, welcome, obviously. The Hammer Time votes. This wasn't actually the toughest week, Oz. If you, I don't know where your thoughts on the game were, but from a spectator's point of view, I had a couple of pretty clear-cut 3-2-1s, I think. It was not the day for the forwards, given the midfielders' lack of supply. I know we did get done by quite a few points, but there is some backmen that will appear in here. And then I think there was in my opinion, pretty clear number 3. So I'll start from the number 1. I'll give one vote. My one vote goes to Shannon Hearn. I thought just he's obviously a leader of the footy club. He's no longer the captain, but his leadership goes without question. Intercept marks, his sturdiness across the back line. There was just a ton of supply. I mean, when you look at this, fans might sort of listen to this and think, oh, how can you give a backman votes? We got done by, X amount of points. But you've just got to, if you look and analyse the game, they had so much supply coming in that, you get blokes like that can stand up and stem it a little bit, which also leads into number 2. I think Brad Shepherd was in a similar vein, floating across that half-back line. Very good. I think he had 12 intercept marks or something like that, Shep, in the end. So those two, I think, worked really well. They were probably our two best backs. And then, have you got any thoughts on them, Aussie?
Yeah, interesting. I would have had probably Bunga as 1, and I was actually thinking Tom Brass as 2. I know Norts, who's a good friend of mine. I'm actually, another story, bought a place in Albert Park, so I'm going to go see it tomorrow. So I'm going to see the new place. But I actually would have had TB 2. I know Nort's probably got the better of him.
Yep.
But I think put his heart and soul on the line. It is a player's player kind of game.
Yeah.
But I can accept Shep for 2. He's an underrated player though. So
yeah,
he always has those games, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. And I agree, TB was good. I just thought I did think Norton won that battle. He's it's funny looking at it. I mean, I've spoken to a few people about this. Tom Barras is a mountain of a man, a genuine mountain of a man. And he, standing side by side to Norton, didn't look big at all. Norton is a monster. A monster.
He's a big boy, and he's always been a big boy as well. I remember playing 18s with him, and he was like that size as well. And scarily enough, Hammer, you and I know each other's weights, which we won't divulge, but North weighs 91 kilos.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Yeah, I swear to God, which is unbelievable.
He must be 0% body fat. There is no way he's 91 kilos.
Mate, I swear to God, that is unbelievable though, right?
All right, when you're around at his place tomorrow, I'd like you to bring some scales and confirm.
And some calipers.
Yeah, and the calipers. But anyway, then we move to the 3 votes. I think Nick Naitanui was, again, phenomenal. It was a game where Tim English is a young sort of ruckman. No one's as strong as Nick, but I think it was a veteran versus a sort of up and coming. Tim English, I think, is going to be a great player, but I just thought Nick got the better of him and was a key driver in what was any sort of effort for us, and just showed that he's the best ruckman, I think, still floating around the comp. Any thoughts on that, Aussie?
Agree. I think not only the Hammer Time Award, but the West Coast Eagles Best and Fairest is almost signed, sealed, and delivered, as long as he doesn't get injured. Knock on wood for that.
Yep.
But I'd be interested to see the leaderboard, because we were talking about this today, I'd have Jack Redden this coming second in our Best and Fairest as we speak today. Yeah,
well, I will take you to the leaderboard now, and I will give you a little. I'll run through the leaderboard, then I'll give you the spiel at the end. So, 1 vote, Shuey and Rotham. 2 votes, McGovern, Cripps, Hearn, Shepherd. 3 votes, Petruccelli, Archie, Liam Ryan, Shannon Hearn. Actually, sorry, Hearn's on 3 votes, not 2. JD and JK on 4 votes. Sheeta and Redden on 5 votes. Oscar Allen and Andrew Gaff on 7 votes. And your 3-2-1. Coming third at the moment on 8 votes is Tim Kelly. Coming second at the moment on 10 votes is Tom Barras. and 3 votes clear on 13 votes is Nick Natanui. I think he is the clear leader of the Hammer Time votes, as well as the best and fairest. Now, to your point about Redden, and I do agree with you, I think he will be coming very high up in the best and fairest this year. The reason I don't think he's polling as well in the Hammer Time votes, he's a perennial 4 to 5 vote getter. He's a perennial honourable mention guy, I think, which doesn't do him well here because we don't really give too many honourable mentions and there's not enough credit there. But when it comes to the best and fairest and there's more than a 3-2-1, I think the weight of votes that he'll get will bump him right up to the top.
Agree. And I reckon Tom Brass would probably be third.
Yep.
You know, the voting system, missing games seriously hurts you. So
yeah, kills you.
So Tim Kelly missing a couple, McGovern, Shuey, they're all probably out of the running for the first place at least. So it'll be an interesting vote count.
Yeah, it will be. But yes, the Hammer Time votes are shaping up nicely with Nick, TB and TK in your top 3.
All right, Oz. So can you find an unsung hero in what was a tough day at the office for last week?
In actual fact, it was the man I mentioned earlier. I would have to give the unsung hero to Tom Brass on a day like today. I thought he would feature in the votes, and normally I don't go for someone who is the 4th or 5th place getter in the votes, but taking all my biases aside, I think he was someone that, although it was a very tough role, they had 60 inside 50s for the day, and to hold their key forward to 1 goal until late in the 4th quarter, and then he got 3 goals late in the game, I thought was a tremendous effort from him.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you got back or neck pain? Are you rehabbing a sports injury and need the best in physiotherapy care? Or are you dealing with arthritis pain and want to start feeling better? Visit West Coast Health and High Performance. It's located where the Eagles train at Mineral Resources Park. Their team of experts will design an individual program for you to get back on track with your health. West Coast Health and High Performance. Book an appointment today at westcoasthealth.com.au.
So it's that time of the Coast to Coast podcast for West Coast Health and High Performance. It's time for Who Are You? You get no help today. You're sitting on your own in your room over there in Melbourne, Aussie.
I just have my phone, which I'll be hiding underneath the table to search through the team list to make sure I can get it right.
Well, I had this one a couple of weeks ago. I had this for last week, and and it was a pretty packed show, so we didn't get to it. But so I've been sitting on this one for a little bit. But Aussie, you are on your own. Lex got it after 9.
Oh, that scares me. That scares me.
Yeah, it does. But what I think, so when she does it, she obviously knows the players, but the football questions, like she gets the personal ones help her a bit more than the footy ones. Whereas I think you, obviously a football brain, the footy ones do help quite a bit. So we'll see how we go here. But anyway, clue number 1. He had the same number of marks in his first year and his second year at the footy club.
That is a useless, great
useless AFL stat. Had the same number of marks in his first and second year at the club.
As a roughie, never played their first 2 years. Same number of marks would be 0.
Same number of marks, that would suffice. And good on you for going down that rabbit hole. Clue number 2, he believes in ghosts.
Right. Is it Brendan Archie?
It's not Archie. Don't know where you've... Yep, anyway. Clue number 3. His win percentage at AFL level is 67.35.
Okay, so as we used Simo's stats, Simo's at 64.7.
Yep.
His career. So this is making me think he's either played for longer than 6 years or he's a 2-club player. Under that premise, I will say, is it Jeremy McGovern?
It is not Jeremy McGovern. We move on. Clue number 4. Puts the toilet paper under, not over, which I just find baffling.
Some tough hints here.
Yeah. Are you a toilet paper under or over guy?
I like to be over, but at times it can turn into under, but...
I'm an over guy. I'm an over guy all the time. We'll just take the toilet paper off the holder and flip it if it's under. Just can't have it.
You know who is a toilet paper under, not over guy? And my guess would be Brad Shepherd.
Incorrect. Not Brad Shepherd. Righto. Clue number 5. Now, it's going to start tailoring into your knowledge a little bit here of individuals and football. Clue number 5, averages 60.8 in AFL fantasy this year.
This year? Okay. Is it Tom Cole?
It's not Tom Cole. Clue number 6, gun to his head, if he had to sing a song word for word, it would be Without You by the Kid Laroi, sorry, not Larry.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. Okay, this really makes me think. Without You
by the Kid Laroi.
Great song. And the Kid Laroi, for those who don't know, a great artist, but he's of the newer, younger generation. So I can't see anyone over the age of, like, I don't know, 24, anyone over that listening to him. So averages 60.8 in fantasy, likes Without You. I'm thinking about young players in the side. This isn't a guess. I'm thinking Harry Edwards, Luke Foley type of vibe. It's a good quiz. Is it? No, I'm in a rattle here. Is it Luke Foley?
It's not Luke Foley.
Oh.
It is not Luke Foley. That was Goss's guess too, by the looks of things.
Who averages 60.8 in fantasy?
Right, on to the next one. This could help you out. Has worn 2 numbers at the West Coast Eagles.
Okay. So instantly I think, oh, no. Oh, interesting. I think of 2 number players. You got Jake Waterman. Can you see the cogs in my brain just slowly turn?
I can see him visibly ticking.
I'm thinking about guys who've worn 2 numbers. Jake Waterman has, but it wouldn't be Jake Waterman playing his first year, and he did play in his second year, so 2 not in. Brad Shepherd, number 5, he's worn 2 numbers. He wore number 12, but couldn't handle the pressure, not him. You've got some other players. You've got Gov, wouldn't be him. JJ has worn 2 numbers. He was obviously wearing Scully, lost colleague's number. Did he take the same amount of marks? He would be someone that believes in ghosts. Is it Jermaine Jones?
He's not Jermaine Jones. Now, I'm going to have to... Yeah, look, you brought something to my attention that has only since hit me, because the AFL stats, if you look on there, it shows the seasons that you've played AFL football.
Okay.
And so when I say his first and second year, it's only just occurred to me that would have been his first and second year of playing AFL football.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, that's a blunder on my behalf, and it obviously leaves the answer to be
Jake Waterman.
And that is, that's a blunder from me, and that's the first time we've had a real blunder like that, Oz.
But I'll tell you what, that is using the stats and going through with a fine comb. But I think that, on the positive note, shows that I know my teammates. Jake Waterman.
And that's a tremendous knowledge of your teammates. I'll give you, that's on me, and obviously you get the win there. Let's just say, for instance, that I had got the first one right and we had made it to this point, and you had just got it at worn 2 numbers at West Coast. For those listening at home, the 8th clue was, if he had one superpower in the world, it would be to have Shannon Hearn's kick. Clue number 9 is he's the only father-son West Coast Eagles player on our list. And number 10 is, if having a large head circumference was made illegal, he would go to prison tomorrow.
He does have the largest of large heads.
Yeah, he's got a big head.
And he is waffling about the superpower being Bunga's kick.
Obviously waffling around about that. But, sorry about that, Oz, because I thought apart from that, it was a bloody good quiz. But
that is a bloody good quiz. And well done to you. Well done to Lex. And once again, I'm superior, Lex.
Yeah, no question. Next time we do it, I'll make sure that I have no blunders.
Now, we've got a bit to get through, and any social media that jump off the page for you, Hammer, Oz, during the week?
Yeah, Ozzy, go for it, mate.
I do have one quickly, and then I will let Hammer take over for this section. It seems like Hammer's more of the guy that is contacted for these things. It's almost like I get a couple here and there, but Hammer's the man.
Yeah, I get a few, and I think it's because, the fans, I don't know if you're as approachable, Oz. You're the big guy now. You've signed the big mega deal. I'm just your lowly waffle captain, and I feel like I'm more of the people's champ.
I agree. You are more of the people's champ. No questions asked about that. But the man I've got, you actually know him quite well. I'm wondering if you can read the top there.
There he is, Alex Zalberti.
Alex Zalberti, the first one, at Zulbstagram. Give him a follow if you can. He's a great fella.
Tremendous.
And a friend of the podcast.
A friend of the podcast and a very an astute listener.
A great man too. He's messaged me saying, one for the pod, big fella. Shout out to Jakey Waterman for his 50th game. Eagles didn't want to do a post for him, so I want to send him some love. And that is spot on. Obviously, it was JK's weekend, but 50 games for Jakey, and it's not a milestone that's overly celebrated. We made a big deal out of mine because this is our podcast and we do it whatever the hell we want. But Jakey didn't get much, I suppose, recognition, and 50 games isn't by, if you look at the greatest players of all time, it's not a great achievement, but 50 AFL games is still a lot of footy, and 4 to 5 years of dedicating your life to being the best you can. So for me, Jakey, congratulations. Good friend of both of ours and a really, really good player. So thank you very much, Jake. Appreciate playing with you and congratulations.
Yeah, I'd also like to resonate that sentiment on the Loosh. Incredible stuff, mate. 50 games, well done. Now, just on Alex Zilberti, I'm glad that he's written into you, Oz. There's two things I'd like to bring up about Alex. The first thing is he kicked 9 in the Wembley Threes the other week, got the promotion and kicked 4 in the Wembley Twos. So the man's got uncapped potential and he's absolutely storming. So he's the goal-kicking machine. And the second point, I said an astute listener of the podcast, he actually, this one is for you, Thumper Bandy. I'm going to leave it a little bit ambiguous. He's found something that slipped through the cracks. There potentially might have been a little expletive that didn't get the beep out. And as an astute listener of the podcast, Alex has found said expletive and pointed it out to me, which I found genuine humour. But yeah, so a very valued member of the show, and thank you very much, Alex. So Oz, that's that. That's your socials. I've had a few. I've been, as we said before, I probably do get hit up a bit more than you for the socials. I had someone actually after the East Fremantle game on the weekend come to me at the bar with a very thick Irish accent that I couldn't quite understand. But he said, "How can I hit you up? What I mean, where do I go for your social media? I don't know I don't know where to send my questions." So I said, "Send them to me." And for those who are wondering, @SugarBray is my Instagram. So send me your questions there, and I will get onto them. So I've got a few here, but I'm just going through them. Oz, I've got a lot, so too many to mention here. Plenty of responses to our best games of Eagles history. Plenty of responses to the best team that I put out last week. There was some very, very glowing responses for the two of us. A few people were disappointed, Oz, that you didn't have Kempy in the team.
I thought that'd be the case, yeah.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, there wasn't so many older people. It was more sort of the, mid-30s, mid 30 to 40 range that were just sort of like, this couple of kids. It was probably their golden, their hero growing up, saying, "Oh, how can you not have him in?" So there was a few of them. I got a message from Malcolm saying, "How's the Hilux going?" Reckons he bought the RAV4 off you a while back. How's the new car going?
Malcolm, yeah, he did actually, yeah. So a little story behind this is, I through the great people at Toyota Galleria,
excellent plug.
I have a car sponsorship there, so they hooked me up with a nice Hilux. However, I had to sell my RAV4. And I put it on Gumtree, and within about 10 minutes, I had 6 different people calling me. I thought this RAV4 must be the best of the best. However, they were all from separate dealerships. And what dealerships do is they try and call and buy secondhand cars. I didn't realise, and I had all these people from dealerships come over, and I'm not kidding, every single one of them came over, had a look at the car, and then asked for a pic with me. So it was basically a meet and greet. This was probably 6 months ago.
Awesome. You probably should have put it up under Lorna's name, I reckon, and then and go from there.
Yeah, I will next time.
Yep, thank you, Malcolm. A couple more Aussie. Philip, who we've had on the show a few times, Philip White-Toling, wants you to put more into your goal celebrations.
Put more into them.
So I'll just let you stew on that. I thought you'd give a pretty good double fist Cobra sort of. But anyway, I'll just let you stew on that.
Thank you.
I'll let you stew on that. I had a really good question here from Dusty Edwards, sort of touching back on our best player, on the best team we've ever had, and just the best team that you've ever played in. Question for the two of us, Oz. Who do you think is the most influential player in West Coast history, and who have you played with that's been the most influential, i.e. who can turn a game on its head and get the team over the line? So I just thought that would be, we've got a couple of others, but I think that one's a good one to have a little chat about and a little talking point. Let's make it more so who have we played with or who have you played with that can do that probably better than anyone.
The most influential player really good question. Two spring to mind instantly. So the first one's Liam Ryan.
Yep.
And in particular, I'm thinking about in the hub last year, a game against North Melbourne late in the year, we were really poor.
Oh, yeah.
And Liam lit the game on fire and really energised us and got us into the game. So it'd be one, but the man you can't go past is Nick Nutnui in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
His role is so dedicated to every time a goal's kicked, if he's on, he can give the ball wherever he wants to our midfielders, pump it inside 50 and kind of give us a positive flow of game. And he's very hard to stop. So
yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, in the one game that I played, we were very, very undermanned going into it, hence the reason me getting the call up off the deep, deep bench. But he was the one that, I mean, Tim Kelly had a great game the day that I played, but he was allowed to have such a great game by the dominance through the middle from Nick. So in my limited AFL experience, I would say Nick Nutnui is probably the most influential player I've ever played with. So that's a pretty good wrap of the socials there. Hit me up at Sugar Bro if you want to get your question on the show. I'll comb through them and pick some good ones. But yeah, thank you very much.
Also, any suggestions as to the goal kicking celebration? I do enjoy the finger wag, the Jono Brown point.
Yep.
I've been, how do you say, playing with a couple of ideas bobbling around in the head. I've thought about if you launch a long one from outside 50, I'll give the old wave as the ball's sailing through. I go, bye-bye.
Yeah, see you later.
That's not bad.
I mean, COVID rules permitted. I'd be very interested to see what they do with the grounds that we play at or that you guys play at over in Melbourne, because there's going to be so many games that get played. I wonder if they're going to play, an odd game at Icon Park or Waverley or something like that. And if they did, and there was a possibility for you to jump the fence, have you seen the Brendan Favola goal celebration? Jump the fence, clap yourself.
Crowding, clap myself.
One of the great goal kicking celebrations. So something to think about, Oz. But that's just for you to stew on.
This weekend, Cardinia Park, GMHBA against Sydney. I'm not sure how many fans we will get there. And this is a good audible to the game, but I might give the old can you hear me to the empty crowd if there's no one there. So.
That'd be very fun.
But on the game, it will be interesting and a really good game. Sydney 6 on the ladder. They're same games, one as us, I believe, and a really good test for us. They're a great side that are kind of rejuvenated, almost an older list with a mix of 18, 19-year-old kids that are playing.
Yeah, and they've got the Moz. Well, they had the Moz on us in Sydney. So Sydney was always a tough game. We haven't won there in a long, long time, and you haven't won at Cardinia Park against Geelong in a long time. So this is a nice little blend of the two of them. This
is also the only other ground I haven't. Oh, apart from I need to win Cardinia Park, GMHBA to tick off all my grounds, and we didn't mention it. Beating Richmond, I have completed the AFL and beaten all 18 teams. So
well done, Oscar. Awesome stuff.
It is a big weekend of footy, boys. We're going to wrap it up. So Hammer, how do you spend the weekend, mate? Now that you're not playing, I mean, obviously you'll be training.
I will be training. With Perth due to come out of lockdown on Saturday morning, Friday midnight. I'll probably be hopefully getting out and doing a session with a few of the boys on Saturday, should things permit. But the weekend's pretty cruisy, I think. It's been a pretty good block of footy for us. We've had a couple of really contested games, so the body is pretty sore and give it a good chance to rest up. But yeah, I'll be training and fingers crossed that it can go ahead as normal after this week.
Oz, appreciate your time in whenever you come back. But first things first, get the points, of course, on the weekend against Sydney in Geelong. And boys, we are still holding on to your all-time Eagles top 5. We'll hold that over till next week. So I don't know if anyone wants to hit you up on socials again, Hammer, with their own suggestions or what you might come up with. But have you had any change to your original 5 since we had the basic discussion?
Yes. Yeah, I have. I've had a mix around of the 5. I haven't had any new inclusions. I've had a mix around, but that's all I'll say.
I'll also take some feedback. Oscar Allen 7 is my @ Don't know why it's Oscar Allen 7, not Oscar Allen 12, but I'll just leave it there. Let us know, and we'll get back to you next week with our top 5 of all time.
This has been Coast to Coast. Thanks to West Coast Health and High Performance. Appreciate it. Go get them, Oz. And boys, till next week, all the very best.
Good stuff.
Thanks, guys.